Welcome back to the Anxiety Ridden Moms Club. And this episode is about summer. Good old summer. So last night we had Wyatt's 8th grade graduation.
Nice.
He is on to high school. And um today irrelevant to last night's events, but I feel like dog shit. Now we're on video. I feel like I have to talk about why I look like I do. I have no makeup on and my throat hurts so freaking bad. But here we are. We're showing up because as anxiety-ridden moms, that's what we do. We freaking show up.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. You gotta just pull it together one way or the other. So then you just throw your hair back and call it a day.
call it a day. The hair is also back because I got this new, hot tool, if you will. Um, it's a crimper. I sent you some pictures
Oh, yes. And you didn't
of
like it.
it was so big. It was just so big. I don't know, but we'll see. Anyway, back on topic. So, my kids are officially on summer break.
Nice.
Here we go. Last year I started my new job in April. So in May, um, I think everything was just so new and fresh. And,
Mhm,
I had been doing what I had been doing for 15 years. And so I was so focused on that. I don't
mhm.
even remember a ton of it. I was just trying to learn as much as I could. And I feel like definitely in the last year I've done and I've grown. But I am terrified of this summer because these children are a mess. Um, we've talked about it before, but my God, it was just like a few days ago. I had one call I needed to get through, and they were knocking. They came downstairs and they know, like, if I'm on camera to
Mhm.
stay away from me, and they were knocking on the wall. Like, that wasn't obnoxious because it was Wyatt and he couldn't find his pants, his work pants.
Oh.
And the
Oh.
knocking continued and continued and continued. And finally, I don't know, I flipped him the bird or something, like, under the table and off camera, like, "Go away." And he did, and then I started to get 19 text messages. And so I'm terrified that this summer,
Mhm.
like, well, he will go to work. He will be at work with my dad for the majority of the time, which will be good. And I'm sure Nora will get out and swim as much as possible. But it just prompted the conversation. I wanted to talk about
Mhm.
summer and how people handle it being working adults. But now the kids are
Yeah.
here. They're here. It's summer.
Yeah. Now see, personally, I've always liked summer better because then I don't have to, like, come home and do homework and worry about if they got all their stuff all ready and set aside and this done and that I feel like there's just that many more things I have to follow up on. So for me, I've always been a fan of summer, and I always hate when school goes back. So I feel bad when the kids I feel as bad as they do when they're like, "We're going back to school." I'm like, "That just sucks." But at least I'm at a point in my life that I am dealing with somebody who's a junior in high school. So she's like doing her own thing, and next year she's a senior. So it's just pretty much her going to work and doing her own thing, and I don't have to worry schedule one way or the other anyway, so I'm free of all those things that you are into having to deal with at this point in time.
I am so grateful for my mom and that my mom
Mhm,
is quote unquote retired, but I think the job she has now of watching all of the Rugrats in summer is
mhm.
more complicated if, than when she was working. But um she is just a door down. I kind of threaten them with that is like you will go to your Mimi's if you can't act right. Like act right. And not only that, but like they eat. Like, they'll grab something and then they'll go out, out the door. They very rarely eat breakfast, not great at
Mhm,
enforcing that. But then they eat lunch at school, and I'm just responsible for one meal. I can't imagine my grocery bill and what
mhm,
it's going to be like this summer.
mhm.
My dad's already told
Oh,
Wyatt,
yeah.
like, "Do you have a lunchbox? Because you're gonna have to pack your lunch." And I'm like, "How are people doing it right now?" Listeners,
Mhm.
if you have any grocery tips, gas tips, everything is so expensive.
Hey, I just found out today. So, a group of people were talking about this today, and they were that there's some stand that's somewhere in the area, not exactly close to me, but probably worth the drive when he really comes down to it. And they sell eggs for $1 a dozen, and like they said that the produce and everything there is like great, and it's all like good prices. And I'm like $1 a dozen, like that's like unheard of anymore. But I'll
I
probably
get
be
the
making
eggs
a
for
trip.
free.
Oh, whatever. Why don't
My
you
dad has
share? Then I could
chickens,
use
and
them
now
for
I
free.
have you need to get some next time you're here. You need to get some eggs, but my dad has chickens, and he
Yes.
has lots of eggs, and then we
Oh,
now have 4 chickens for fun.
fun.
For fun, yeah, and 2 ducks.
Mm.
So much fun. So not only do we
Are
have
you gonna eat
those
the
now.
ducks?
No, and it actually feels weird to eat chicken. I don't know. So I'm genuinely curious what summer looks like for parents of young ones. Are they sending
Mhm,
them to summer
mhm,
camps? Are they,
mhm.
um, do they have full-time daycare? Is it family or friends helping out, or what does summer look like? And does it stress everybody out like it stresses me out? I do. I love summer. I love pool days. I love beach days. I
Mhm.
love all things summer. But working from home, I am a little frightened what summer is going to look like for
Yeah,
us this year.
yeah, that could get a little bit crazier. So, okay, so do you have any places that you have gone or want to go for summertime? I think a lot of people take trips during this time. Are you taking any this summer, or do you have any places that you ever think would be kinda cool to go to?
Yeah, so for us, since I have been little, my mom and dad had a boat, and we've always, like, once a year, we went to Branson Table Rock Lake, and that is just
Mhm,
somewhere where I love to go.
mhm.
I love to unwind. It literally is one of my favorite places on earth. Um,
Me too.
but normally we would just do when we were little and my mom and dad had the boat, we would go for a full week. But then
Mhm.
they sold the boat, and so then it kind of turned into a long weekend, and then we would do a beach vacation. And
Oh,
I'm really missing the beach too. And so this year
yeah.
we're stuck in between. And I will tell you what holds me back is the animals, all of the animals, because I would
Mm,
literally get in the car right now and drive to the beach and be gone, but
mhm,
it's
mhm.
hard. So we have Bolton Murphy, we've got a German Shepherd and a Golden Doodle, and then 2 cats, and now 4 chickens and 2 ducks. So
Yes.
it's just hard. It is so hard to
Yeah,
find someone to help with the animals. Um, if you board them at the vet, that is gonna cost more than your place on vacation.
it gets expensive.
It gets so
Very
expensive.
expensive.
So
Yeah,
we're in the planning phases now trying to figure out what to do, and that's where we might end up
yeah.
back in Branson for a week just because we can take Murphy with us at least,
Mhm.
and then, whatever. So, what do your plans look like this
Yeah.
summer?
So we are having a trip to Florida. We haven't really been doing a lot of trips lately, and it's just, you know, I don't know. It's unfortunate. We should be doing more. But Branson is a place that I absolutely, absolutely love. But somewhere else, I really want to go to Mall of America in Minnesota.
You need
I
to reach
really
out to
want to go
Jade.
there.
She's been Chase went for he went I think there was, like, an award ceremony or something for work, and so my mom and dad and Chase and Jade went to the Mall of America, and
Oh,
I heard great
really?
things, but that doesn't seem like a vacation spot to me. That seems like a
No, but it
long
seems somewhere
weekend.
fun. Like, to me, I feel like there's places that I think, I would love to have to go, like, for a couple long weekends in a summer. Would be great. And then actually, I'm looking at a lot of things, I was like, it'd be kinda cool to take a trip up there. It's not that difficult of a drive or anything, you know what I mean? So we could go in and just enjoy, just have a long weekend there. There's stuff in Tennessee that looks pretty cool. There's a lot of different, like, I don't know, there's a lot of different places that I feel like are not that far, um, that I'm kinda interested in checking out because 'cause I'm huge about Branson. Like my husband will tell you, literally we pull into Branson and, like, I turn into like a kid. Like, I'm just so freaking happy. I
Have you
just love
been
it
when
there.
you so when you say Branson, so when I say Branson, I the lake is my happy place. The lake is
Yes, me
my
too.
freaking happy place. Or are
Yes.
you like a Silver Dollar City kinda gal?
No. No, no,
Really?
no,
When's the
no,
last time you've been?
no. The last time we actually went, which is sad because the last time that we went to Silver Dollar City for, the Christmas stuff because I was told you absolutely have to go, and I will never do that again.
Why not?
It was so
I
it's
loved it. I
freezing.
thought it was so
Ugh, it
romantic
was
and
so freaking cold. It was so cold, and we were there, and it was just long, and I don't know. It didn't do it for me. It didn't do it for me. It's not my thing.
I
I
felt like
am
we were walking around in
100,000%
Hallmark. I thought we were walking around in a
seriously?
Hallmark movie. I freaking
I
loved
mean,
it.
there's some I don't know. It was okay. But I have people who d got on my case to go there. I needed to go. I had to experience it. I have experienced it once, and I don't need to experience it again. But I do need to get back to the lake because I love the lake. I love lake life in general, just to relax. Just, like, when you get up in the morning and you can sit out on, like, a deck and, like, look over the lake and the peace and the quiet and it's just so nice. Just so
That
nice.
is
And then,
my that is my
you
kind of
go out and you get
vacation
some
too.
ice cream, you go shopping during the day or something, you go do something else, like, you always so you can break it up a little bit, but that's what I love more than
So
anything.
this is funny. So last year when we were in Branson, I've talked about Nana's before, and Nana's is kind
Mhm,
of our ice cream spot in Jerseyville. And so Nana's had recently opened and we would just started being our connoisseurs of Nana's all the time. And then we go to Branson on
mhm,
vacation and the kids are like, "We want ice cream, we want ice cream." And we're like, "Okay." And so I Google it. And so like we were staying at Ozark Mountain Resort in Kimberling City
mhm,
and we Google
mhm.
ice cream and there's this little like what do you call it? It's like a fancy ice cream place. It was real fancy.
Fancy.
And they only had, like, lavender haze ice cream, and it was, like,
Oh my
$1,000,000,
lord.
and they didn't even have vanilla,
Yeah.
and it was such a drag,
What?
and yeah, it was terrible, and we ended up at Sonic. We got our ice cream at Sonic. There's always some sort of adventure, but that's what I remember, and that's what we laugh about, so it's all good,
Yes.
and I'm
Yes.
not a huge Silver Dollar City, like, we went, for the whole Christmas thing,
Mhm,
and it was awesome. And I love a good roller coaster every now and again, um,
mhm.
but generally speaking, it's the relaxing, the shopping, and,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
So Branson checks a
Yes,
lot of
that's
the
what I
boxes for
love.
me. But
Yeah.
since our last job, we were in Florida quite a bit and
Mhm,
at the beach quite a bit, and my boyfriend is from Florida, and so I spent a lot of time over the last couple of years
mm,
in Florida, and then now with my new job, I don't go as much, so I'm really jonesing for a beach too, but
mhm.
I
Yeah.
if anybody has any family-friendly spots that we've gotta try, we've gotta check out,
Yes.
um,
Yes.
or if anybody knows any dog sitters in the Jerseyville or surrounding areas. I would love that too, because it is hard. It is hard to go anywhere when you have a whole freaking farm.
Yes. Yeah, it does make it hard, and that's one thing for us, like, we just have one little small dog, and so probably 98% of the time, any trip we plan, we take her. Like, we had even gone to, Nashville, Tennessee to a really nice hotel to celebrate our anniversary, and she came with.
So you just find dog-friendly
Mhm,
places to stay?
mhm, mhm. I will say that the place we stayed was very, very nice, and I was but it was you could have dogs. I can't say it was the most convenient thing because to have her go to the bathroom, you had to, like, kinda, like, walk almost down the block for an area that she'd go to the bathroom, which I didn't I don't know. It was fine. It worked out fine. But I so you would a lot of times carry her because the place was kinda busy. So I would carry her through, to where I'd before I'd go outside, and you could tell some of the people were like, "So they allow dogs here?"
Oh, you didn't know? You didn't know, but they do. See, that's why and Nora just asked me yesterday, she's like, "Where are we going? Where are we going on vacation?" And I
Mhm,
was like she's like, "Are we going to a beach?" And I'm like, "Girlfriend, I don't know because when we go to Branson, we can take Murphy." And, like, when we were in Branson last summer, Murphy literally was running around all the cabins and checking out what everybody was having
mhm.
for breakfast, and they just loved her, and then she would jump in the lake. And so,
Yeah.
I keep seeing these things that say dogs are only in your life for a short period of time, but you're in
Mhm,
theirs for their whole, and, like, they're
mhm,
short. And so, I don't know. I guess I
mhm.
can't never take my kids to the beach again because my dog, but
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing about it, but you never know, you see, that's why, like, we're going to go to the beach, and I have it all set up that I can bring the dog if I wanna bring her, and I just got another place and they allow dogs, and then I'll be on the beach, and I'll have my dog.
there you go. And are you sure dogs are allowed on the beach?
I don't know, but I don't really care about taking her on the beach. She's not gonna be a she wouldn't probably like that anyways. She'll just be happy though that she's with us for whenever, when we could leave for the day, come back, she'll be hanging around waiting on us. So it'll be good. It'll be good. But I do look forward to doing that. The other thing I was actually looking at too for the summer was other things to do. And there was a place that, and of course, I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. It was like these huge slides, like humongous slides. It's like an indoor place. So it's kind of like, how you go to Sky Zone or all these different places
Slick
with
City?
trampolines and stuff. Yeah. Have you been to it?
No. But my I've seen pictures of my nephews flying down
Oh my God. It
all the
looks
slides
so
at Slick City.
cool. Yeah. I'm like looking
So
for
when your
fun
kids were
stuff.
y when your kids were younger, were you the type of mom to take them, like, were you Magic House, Grant's Farm, Zoo? Like, did you have something planned, like, an
No,
adventure a week?
no,
Did you
no.
ever go on any adventures?
Not a whole usually we just planned a trip and we went somewhere. Um, I feel like all the time, unfortunately, especially when the boys were young, we worked a lot. So like, and when we weren't physically at our jobs, one or the other was on call. So we didn't have like it was difficult. Even like when I would take the kids to like birthday parties and stuff like that. I mean, I'd end up either out at my car on the phone or in the corner somewhere. It was difficult. We had to work a lot. And so unfortunately we didn't get to do some of the things that maybe some people were doing, and I wish that we would have had that time. I mean, but if I wouldn't have put in the hours doing what I did, we wouldn't have had the money to do trips or anything else that we did. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a give and take. Um, but now that I'm in a situation where I am a grandparent, then I kind of feel like, I look at this stuff and I'm like, "Ooh, I can go pick the kids up and take them and go do this one day and drop them off." And I'm just in a different situation in life. So that's when I saw that place. Now, the only thing about it I did think was Slick City. I was like, I mean, somebody might break their neck, but it
It's
looks
po
like
it's possible, but you could break your neck, like, I don't know, walking
anywhere.
outside. For sure,
But it
for
does
sure.
look really fun. Now, I really can't tell you that I'm a big fan of like science centers, Magic House, I mean, yeah, they're whatever, but their parents can go take them to do that. I'm really not interested. Like,
We just recently went to the science center because I'm trying to teach the kids about a freaking hard-earned dollar, right? And we were looking up free things to do, and they were so
uh-huh,
happy because they're like and the little fuckers just don't get it because 'cause they're like,
uh-huh.
the science center's free and Grant's Farm's free." And I'm like, "Do you realize that it cost me $35 to park at Grant's Farm?" $35. And,
It's
like,
ridiculous.
was it worth it? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. But then they wanted to feed the goats, and they're like $3 a baby bottle, and we did a couple rounds of that and a couple rounds of this, and they have no
Mhm,
idea the amount of money that's just and, it's was it worth it? Absolutely, but, like, as far as teaching them the value of a dollar, they just don't
mhm.
freaking get it, and so I've
Yeah,
tried to be like, "That's whatever we did, that's X amount of dollars, that's so many hours of work," and it's just funny because it goes right over them, but,
yeah.
all of these
Yeah.
places are quote unquote "free," But you have to pay to park.
Are they? Yeah. And
I
if
don't
you want
know.
something to drink or eat, that'll be, like, the most expensive food you've ever had in your life.
What
They'll
I feel
get
like
you.
is kind of new is a lot of areas and a lot of towns are investing in these, splash pads that are free, which is super freaking cool, especially for, like, the younger kids. So if you haven't checked out
Mhm,
a splash pad, you absolutely need to because they're awesome. We have a new one in Jerseyville. There's a really cool one in Godfrey, and I know that there's a ton just from what I've researched online in, like, the St. Louis areas. I feel like my kids are a
mhm,
little bit too old for it now. Like, obviously, they'll go with their younger
mhm,
cousins, but the splash
mhm.
pads are free, which is super duper nice. So
Mm,
that's something to keep everyone
mhm,
occupied a little bit this summer. I'm fortunate
mhm.
enough that my aunt and you have an in-ground pool, um,
Yeah.
which is super nice, so I'm sure there's gonna be lots of pool days. Um,
Yes.
I tried
There's
to
a
sign
lot of
Nora
that that
up
goes on.
I tried to sign Nora up for a theater camp because she is very theatrical, let me tell you. I thought it
Mhm,
was something that she would really, really enjoy. Um,
mhm.
and she thought about it for like 10 minutes and then was kind of over it. So I don't know. I want to keep them active. That's my main goal this summer is
Yeah,
just to keep everybody active, healthy, happy,
yep. I
including
think at the end of the
myself.
day right. I think ultimately too with all of the, electronics in general that we're around, even, like, for kids for their laptops for schools and stuff like that, just in general, electronics, not even saying it's about, like, them playing games or doing something. I just think it's good for them to have, you know, get out, do things, enjoy the weather, you know? During the wintertime, you're cooped up, and then you're kind of that's gonna be, of course, more your entertainment. Get on the computer, get on a game, whatever it is, But during the
An
summer,
iPad.
weather's beautiful. It's time to get out and go do something. But I will say, everyone better wear their sunscreen because, as you get older, you find out that all the things that you did when you were a kid probably should have put on a little something better. Although now you have to like read about the sunscreen, and the sunscreen tells you that actually it's worse. So you got to be careful what sunscreen you use. So do your research, but put sunscreen on.
I am so freaked out about, well, 2 things, about skin cancer. I'm
Mhm,
freaked out about skin cancer. I would be lying
mhm.
if I didn't tell you all right now that, I have taken many pictures of myself and of my Floridian boyfriend, Floridian,
Uh-huh.
Floridian, and sent them
Floridian.
Floridian, and I called my ChatGPT since I use Claude at work, and so I had to name
Uh-huh.
my ChatGPT, and he's Walter, and so I've
Mhm,
sent Walter lots of risque pictures. I have a spot, like, and I
mhm,
freaking know that when I wear a low cut, and I say low cut, like, I'm not being
mhm.
slutty at the pool. Remind me to get back to that in a second, but, I know it's a place that gets sunburnt all the time, and I had a spot pop up, and so I've been sending them to Walter, and I'm like, "Walter, do I need to get this? Is this skin cancer?"
Doesn't he
Walter
say,
told me
"I'm
it
not
didn't
a
look.
physician"?
No, he just told me it didn't look super questionable. So then I was like, "Brad, come here,"
Well,
because there are a couple spots on
I'm
him that I wanted to send off. I
well,
swear
I
to
should do that
God.
the next time because I have had some skin cancer spots, so I'll have to the next time when but I know what they are now, like, I can tell, like, I'll be like, "Oh, that's one I need to go have them zap off," and there's another one, but I had one that was on my chest that I ignored for a long time, and it was like this tiny little spot that, like, it would sometimes start seeming like it's gonna heal up, and then all of a sudden, it would just be like as if your skin got raw. And then all of a sudden be like it was gonna heal up, and then it would just be like your skin got raw. It's just really weird, and
Walter
yeah,
told
that
me
was a
that's not
bad
good.
sign. That's not good. You
Walter
should
told
do
me
something
you
before
should go to
me.
a doctor if it looked like that.
Yes.
Walter's
It's not
very, very smart. I'm just saying.
it's not good. And
Do
I
not
then I
take
had
my
him on
medical
my
advice.
hands.
Do not take my medical advice. Do not take Walter's medical advice. If you have questionable spots,
No.
go get them checked. Okay, but this is a real thing because even one of my sister-in-laws was like, "Yeah, I was told like go to a dermatologist." And then I go to the dermatologist and they made me feel completely stupid for being there. And they're like, "Why are you here?" And I showed them the spot and they were like,
Big
Like,
deal.
yeah, no big deal, and I don't
Yeah.
that's BS. If I want you to
Yeah.
look at every spot on my body, like, look at every you know what I mean? Like, you're a
I'm
doctor, it's
I'm
not
I'm
a
here.
dog.
Right. Well, and at the end of the day, it's about preventing. I mean, truly, it's about preventing. I mean, we really all everybody should really be going into a dermatologist and being checked, especially at least when you get a little bit older and you get to ages, certain ages, just because even by like in your 30s, it's a good time just to like get a check. And then they might say everything's great. You have absolutely nothing. Okay, maybe you wait 5 years before you worry about it again. But like, just because you didn't have a problem before. I even actually literally just spoke to a woman who lives in the villages of in Florida. And which, of course, I mean, I had to ask her 20 million questions about how much she loves it there. But she even showed me her
You say the
arms and she's
villages of
like,
Florida, like that is a specific spot on a map. I'm sure there are lots of villages of Florida.
but okay, for retirement, look it up. For retirement, the villages. Look up the village. Believe me, it pops right up. Anyways, so it's a fun happening place for when you for sure, especially for people when they retire. But she showed me her arms and she even said, you know, how when she was younger that she, you know, was out there lathering up in baby oil and who knows what back to iodine or anything else that they used. And she's like, wasn't like we were told you're supposed to do anything different. And she's like, and you pay for it. So you definitely need to take care of it for sure.
I've got a little olive colored skin. Maybe it's my green shirt that's making it, but like it's a little olivey, but I've always been so fair toned that like
Mhm,
I haven't done that crap. Probably haven't always worn sunscreen like I should. But for the
mhm,
most part, I would look like a damn lobster if I didn't. So I've been very,
mhm.
very
Well, I
good about
mean,
my
for
sunscreen,
me,
but sunscreen's gonna cause cancer too. We talked about that as well.
yes, yes. So you have to be careful what you buy. But of course, I'm an idiot who's like fair skin. And I wish to God I had dark skin because I would be in the sun all the time. I would just based in it. And I get skin cancer spots on my arm. And of course, you know, we go out somewhere and then we get there. I'm like, oh, I didn't think the sun was going to be like bright like this today. And I like burnt up my arm so bad. I'm like, this is not smart. Not smart. I should just put sunscreen in every single compartment of my car and everywhere else so that don't have that problem. But I definitely have to put mine on.
Yeah, for as white as I am, my daughter is white and freckles, man, she is
Yeah.
white as a ghost. And when we went to Pensacola one year to watch the Blue Angels, which Pensacola is a friend that I used to work with, she had 2 condos in Pensacola, and it is, like,
Mm,
my favorite place on earth, it really is. Um,
hmm.
it's not as touristy as, like, Destin or
Yeah.
Gulf Shores or, um,
Yeah.
Orange Beach. It seems still like small town vibes.
Hmm.
Like it just I'm obsessed with Pensacola, but we went to watch the Blue Angels practice, um, and forgot sunscreen.
Whoops.
It was bad. And it's one of those things like when you get burnt with Florida sun, like you're screwed the rest of the time. So like you've got to
Mhm.
there've been a couple of vacations and I'm pretty sure that was one of them because we went to watch the Blue Angels with no sunscreen that I had to buy her a
Yeah.
swim long sleeve swimsuit. Try to say that 3 times fast. I can't say it once, but
Mhm.
yeah, we've learned our lesson. So we've
Mhm.
the sunscreen, the long sleeves, we'll do it all. We'll do it
Yes.
all.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yeah.
So, pivoting just a little bit,
Mhm.
I just saw something online about, thongs at amusement parks or, like, water parks and
Mm,
the risque
okay.
things that people wear, and
Yeah.
do you or don't you wear a thong bathing suit to a water park? I, for one, w don't wear a thong ever. Ever. You will never catch me in a thong. I would go butt ass, like, naked. I would have nothing over a thong. I just don't understand the concept. I really don't. But is it appropriate for people to wear thong bathing suits?
No. No. In my opinion, no, because here's the thing is, I don't care. Like, there's different beaches and different things and people do all that, and it is what it is. But I just kind of feel like when you're in those theme parks, I don't know. There's a lot of kids that go to like, it's a lot of young kids that go to them. I don't know. I just think it's distasteful in my personal opinion, and I'm all about, if you got the bod and you can rock it, I get it, but sometimes, like, have a little bit of couth. Think about where you're at. My personal opinion, just my personal opinion. That's not where if I was the lady who wanted to put that on, I would not put it on there.
No, I agree, and then taking it a step, like, the other direction is I've seen a
Mhm,
lot of social media content about the swimsuits that we're putting our children in also, and
mhm,
see, maybe it's because I, um, am who I am, but I like, if you got it I say you got it, flaunt it, like, I don't care like, if you
mhm.
wanna wear
Oh,
like, whatever. I would not wear it to a water park, but, like, whatever.
no, I
But
just
anyway, I've seen a
mhm,
lot of, like, "Hey, I don't need my three-year-old having side cutouts in her swimsuit. Thanks, Target." You know what I mean? Like, things like that.
mhm,
And then you see about the creeps on the Disney cruise, and, like, it really makes
mhm,
you question everything you do in life.
mhm,
What the fuck is wrong with people?
mhm.
I'm not kidding. I mean, and just in the last couple weeks, like the FedEx driver, the fucking
Yeah,
FedEx driver
yeah,
murders this
it's
beautiful
scary.
baby. You have to be like, you don't wanna be a helicopter pa fuck that. I'm gonna be a helicopter parent
Mhm,
because you have to be so cautious of everything, of the shit you're putting on your skin, of the people that you're
mhm,
around, of what you know what I mean? And, like,
mhm,
I get it from that perspective. Like, no, they probably don't need hip cutouts on child swimsuits. Like, you want them
mhm.
to look cute and hip, but then at the same time, like, are we sexualizing our is that the word? Is that what I'm going for? Like, our
Yeah,
kids.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I being a parent is so hard. This shit should have came with
mhm,
a disclaimer, like, everything
mhm.
that you do. And
And then
then
on the other hand, the girls a lot of times have it is a definite here's the thing, I do believe, like, when they're 3 and 4 and 5, I mean, they should just have basic swimming suits, like, there's no real reason to have I mean, like, they have cute ones or even bikinis, and that's fine, sometimes little kids in a bikini, it's cute, but it should still be age appropriate looking bikini. I don't know why that they have kind of, like, turned stuff into, I don't know, like they're modeling when they're in a bathing suit, especially in the world we do live in. I don't know, it's weird, but on the other hand, as these girls get a little bit older and their styles change, and I mean, the stuff that they wanna wear, the shorts that they wear, all that kinda stuff, they're all into all that stuff, and you can't tell your kids you can't wear any of that because then you have to be careful. You have to be very careful on how you guide your children through this world that we live in because it's really about teaching them to be really smart and using their brain, but it's sad how much is going on. And I will tell you one thing though. So that FedEx guy in the front yard, right? I have always, and especially I had even somebody else who they had a child killed because they were out on playing on their driveway and a car came around the corner and like ended up going through their yard and ran into their kid who was just playing in their driveway, and the mom had literally just walked into the house to put something on the counter that was right there and turn around and come right back out, and all of a sudden, there's this tragedy that happened, and it's because this kid had is a drunk driver, and the weird thing about it is it wasn't like at some nighttime wasn't it was like in the it was at a normal hour that you would be outside doing those things, and I always just would tell my husband, I'm like, I know that things can happen bad in your backyard, but there's a lot of things that I get super paranoid about in the front yard. I don't like kids playing on a driveway because of that. I don't like ever a kid out in the front yard. I always feel like I had times where my daughter was outside and she was, I mean, age appropriate to be outside for sure on her own. And all of a sudden there'd be like a car that would drive by very slow. And then you'd see it again. And I'd be like, get your butt back in the house. Like, people are weird. Just weird.
everyone has to be super duper duper cautious. It's a scary freaking world we live in, and,
Yes.
Brad and I were talking about recently just, with our jobs and things, and I'm like, I don't know, back in the day, I remember, me and my best friend would ride our bikes to the city pool, and we were probably 12,
Hmm.
13, and, like, I just don't feel comfortable with that, and I don't know if it's because our
Mhm.
kids, like, were we more mature? I don't know about that, if you would see the pictures of our toe after the bike accident and
Well,
different things, and I remember us rollerblading all around and me eating shit on the side of the road, you know what I mean? Like,
right, right.
some of those are my best memories and, like, some of the things I will never forget. I literally just text Ashley, like, a couple weeks ago, and I sent her a TikTok of someone eating shit on a bike, and, I was like, "Oh my god, this reminded me of you." We were on our way to the city
Yeah.
pool, and I just don't know in today's day and age if I even feel comfortable, like, letting my kids do that.
Mhm,
It's freaking scary, and, Wyatt's gonna be a freshman
mhm.
in high school, and when he does dumb shit, I'm like, "Boy, you are supposed to be driving a car." Like, his 2nd semester, he'll be taking driver's ed. He's supposed to be driving a car, and this kid does some really questionable shit sometimes. But I'm just like, "Are you ready?" And then so Brad and I have been talking, like, how do we get them ready? How do we ensure that they're
Right.
ready to own their own house and to maybe have kids one day? And you know what I mean? Like, it's
Mhm, mhm. I think
again,
the biggest thing is that they have to always remember that, it just takes one wrong decision to change not only your own, but, many people around you's lives. It could just be one decision.
with Memorial Day coming up, I've heard that too. I've
Mhm,
heard I don't know if it's on the radio or if it's a TV commercial or whatever, but it's like, talk to your kids now
mhm.
because they can make one decision to, shape the rest of their life
Yes.
end their life and like you said, and the people around them. It's having the
Mhm.
conversations, but even the shit you don't think about, like underage drinking. Like, do you realize that that ticket could follow you around for the rest of your life
Mhm.
and you could possibly not get into a nursing program or not get a job that you want because of a
Yep.
decision that you make now? So,
Mhm.
if we've said it once, we've said it 150 times. I know it comes down to communication with our kids and just making sure, but we can't
Yes.
save them from everything, you know?
No, no. All you can do is try to teach them right from wrong and that there is evil where there is good, evil lurks. And that ultimately, I think the biggest thing is because I think a lot of times people think like, well, I'm going to make this decision. And if it's bad, whatever, it just affects me. And that's just not true. I mean, any decision that you make affects other people around you. And, that can turn deadly for some people. It can be, there's even like I think it's I think it was the Murdaugh murders. Is that, I think, was that the one? I can't remember. There's one of them on Netflix. It might have been that one, but that the kid actually was on a boat and there's all these kids with them on this boat and they'd been drinking. And the kid that was driving the boat was, he he ended up saying he's getting back on the boat and they're going to go to the next place or whatever. But everybody knew he was really intoxicated. And some of them were a little leery to get on the boat. But on the other hand, I think they felt like, but he's so drunk, almost like they kind of needed to maybe get on the boat. And so all these kids get on the boat. And of course, at some point in time, a girl fell off the boat and she ended up that they could never find her body, even that she drowned in it and stuff. And it was a horrible story. But those things are one that I talk to my daughter about all the time. I'm like, just like here, you would just simply call me and I'll pick you up from where you're at. I would much rather have you contacting me and telling me what's going on and, hey, I've had a few drinks, I can't drive, whatever, than you get on the boat and now I don't have you anymore. And that it
Uh-huh.
just changed that kid's life. It changed all those kids' lives on the boat. I mean, the trauma even from that, you know what I mean? It may not be it's their friend. I mean, that's traumatic when all those things kinda happen. You know what I mean? It's just there's so many things. So many things. And social media and all that stuff doesn't make it any easier, unfortunately.
No,
You know?
probably promotes, like, daredevil shit too, and
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
scary. I mean,
Mhm.
I didn't always make the best decisions growing up, um, but luckily, I didn't make any huge life altering. I mean, I had some that could have definitely taken a turn, um,
Mhm.
but I know that I don't know, it's just a different world. It's just a freaking different world, and, drugs
Yep.
shit being laced in fentanyl and you go for one high and you're dead and it just
Mhm.
it's scary. So we've gotta keep
Mhm.
talking to our kids and we'll make it
Mhm.
through this summer. I'm sure of it. I'm gonna
Right.
pray a lot. I'm gonna
Right.
pray. I'm gonna try to be patient.
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to set some boundaries early on and communicate and over communicate.
Yes. Yes.
We've got
All to
this.
for the all for the purpose of having a fun summer. All for
Fun,
having a good
but
summer.
safe. Fun but
Yes.
safe, for sure.
Yes. Yep.
Well, please, if you've got great summer plans or I wanna know how you're filling your days, how you're keeping occupied, where you're sending your kids, and I wanna know Gina and I wanna know where you're going on vacation because we might just
Mhm.
join you. You just never know. So, reach out to us
Right.
on socials. Let us know what your plans are for this summer.
Mhm.
And, like we mentioned, just have fun, but most importantly, stay safe.
Yes. Stay safe and have an enjoyable summer.
Until next week.
See ya.